For a lot of us, when we were growing up, we had great times sitting around with our friends playing certain video games. Tecmo Bowl and NBA Jam, two of the all-timers. If you're still good at them, you could win some cash. For 9 years, Thomas Jenkins has put on a huge Tecmo Bowl tournament in Avon Lake. Jenkins is the owner and CEO of Tecmo Cleveland. Yeah, that's a thing. And it's actually getting a lot of attention now because of a big year last year.
It was awesome. We had over 64 people registered. It was a huge day. We had Tecmo Super Bowl going all day long. It was fantastic. We had guys coming from 7 different states all over the country, which is just incredible that people are coming out still like 30 years later to play Tecmo Super Bowl.
So now it's time to take it to the next level. It's not just Tecmo Cleveland, it's Tecmo Jam Cleveland because, yeah, he's put NBA Jam in the tournament too. That game, much like Tecmo Bowl, was huge in the early 90s, and now it will be a part of the fun.
So when people think about sports games, classic sports games, there are really 2 that come to mind. Tecmo Super Bowl being like the definitive original NFL game. And then, of course, NBA Jam. It's the game that everyone grew up with. You pumped quarters in when you were a kid. It's the game they call like the billion-dollar quarter machine back in the day. And that's why we decided we've got to do this with NBA Jam. So this year, last year we did 1 tournament day, just doing Tecmo Super Bowl dedicated to that. This year we're doing a second day, again, just showing all the love for NBA Jam on the second day.
NBA Jam was legendary, and it set the standard for many basketball games today.
Yeah, I mean, NBA Jam, I feel like, is still a franchise that's around and known well today. People are familiar with games like 2K that are out there. And again, just like Tecmo, it was the first game that had player stats. So you could look at Stockton, Malone, Brad Doherty, Mark Price, Pippen, Rodman, like all the names that we grew up with. And it was the first time you saw these guys, you saw attributes, they were injured. You know, this was the first game where you picked up the controller and it felt different, not just from like one player to the other player.
This is not just a local thing. Sponsors from around the country are starting to take notice of what Jenkins is doing.
We've got sponsors all over the place. We've got Sports Crate, who's donating sports crates for participants. We've got energy drink sponsor, Balls is energy drink. We've got Homage here, both in Cleveland and Columbus, they're sponsoring. We've got so many people getting on board this thing.
Most video gamers love realism. So how real does this feel?
We've actually got a broadcasting company coming in, which is just awesome. So it's, again, putting Cleveland, you know, just not only with the Tecmo Super Bowl portion of NBA Jam, but we've got this broadcasting company coming in, True Games Fan Network. They're flying a guy in, broadcasting Tecmo Super Bowl. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like, that's the level this is at. So you can imagine you've got a broadcaster there announcing your game live over the internet. People can see you play, tune in, watch what's happening. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
A live broadcast? Yeah, sure. Why not? Just another reason to jump in on this. By the way, winner gets a $500 prize. That doesn't hurt either.
Really, my goal for this thing is just to make this like a retro gaming mecca in Cleveland.
August 4th and 5th, TecmoCleveland.com is where you go to sign up.
All right, sounds great.
I was always pretty good with the Washington Bullets and, of course, the Cavaliers. Jam. NBA Jam. Classic.
I'm so glad to hear it. Thanks, Mark.
Write it down.
We'll be right back.
It's amazing, folks. It's amazing.